It's that time of year again where the kids are off school for 6 weeks and there seems to be new messes popping up every hour in every room of the house. And what I'm not about to do is chase a perfectly tidy house in a time that beckons us to slow down, spend quality time with our children and lean into the chaos a little bit. What I am going to do is make sure that when they do go back to school, the house functions as best as it can. We know where everything is, we're not stressing out about uniform and coats, pencil cases and homework, admission forms and lunch boxes. And that means decluttering, reorganising and decluttering some more. So that's what we're doing in today's video. And I ended up doing something unexpected during filming this time round, and I actually started talking to the camera as I was working. And you'll see my ups and downs in real time because at the beginning I was really stressed and I didn't know where to start. But by the end I felt like I could tackle anything again. Look as dishevelled as I feel, but not chaotic, not scrambling to find things in every single cupboard. That makes no sense, it's not helpful. I don't want to, and I'm not going to. I'm feeling so much happier today. Come on! So I already had a big project ahead of me, and for some reason I decided to start this literally the day after we got back from holiday. And you know how it is when you get back from holiday. So there were clothes and stuff all over the place from that. And instead of trying to cram everything back into the drawers and then going through them again, I thought, let's just leave everything out. Let's declutter these drawers and then put things back. Which in theory was a good idea, but having clothes and stuff all over the house really brought me back to a time when living like this all the time was a reality. And I'm going to be honest, I wasn't dealing well with that at all. I really had to hold on to the fact that as much as it felt that way right now, as soon as I'd gone through everything and put everything away, things would feel calm again. So I put some cleaning videos on my phone to get me motivated, and I started on this chest of drawers first. This is where we keep my 5-year-old's clothes. For anybody new here, we have a 2-bedroom house and 3 little ones, so we really struggle for space. Don't worry, we're currently on the lookout for our forever home. But for the time being, we do have to try and make this house work for us. And yeah, that means keeping some of the kids' clothes in our room. So I'm just going through each drawer and getting rid of things that don't fit him anymore, things that look a bit worn out and old, and I'm really trying to cut down on the amount of things we own. Once I'd decluttered, I did just shove everything back into the drawers and I didn't fold anything, but that's because I have a plan, which I'll tell you about later. If you see me stopping a lot and looking at my phone, it's because I really am trying to amp myself up and get motivated with cleaning videos. I really use cleaning videos as a tool. I think they're great for motivation, hence why I make them myself. I think I was actually just getting distracted here, but the intention was there. Again, if you're new here and you noticed I was talking about the way things used to be, we've come a long way in terms of clutter and messiness. There was a time that we couldn't see the floor for clothes, every surface was cluttered, we struggled to find our shoes every morning along with so many other day-to-day items, and that made life feel so stressful and tense all the time. We also didn't have many systems or routines in place to help us keep the mess at bay. So over the last 3 years, working on both of these things, reducing the amount of things we own and organising and introducing systems that work for us, has improved our situation dramatically. So to feel as though we were slipping back to that way of life really did affect me. And to be entirely honest, I think we were heading in that direction again in terms of allowing clutter to build up in the cupboards, as you'll see. Because when storage places are cluttered, you can't put things into their proper homes, and it kind of causes a ripple effect into things being left out and then sides becoming cluttered and the space becoming visually chaotic. And in turn, our minds becoming a bit more chaotic because then routines are being put on the back burner because it kind of felt like, what's the point? But the good thing is we were able to recognise the signs and sort things out before it became a huge problem again. If you're wondering why the 3rd drawer down had my clothes in, it's because my drawers have also become too full, and so sorting those out was next on my agenda. And I was determined that each family member would have their own separate place for clothes. No overlapping anymore. We needed more structure. I also kept reassuring myself that this didn't have to be a stressful thing. Doing one small section a day was absolutely fine, and it takes as long as it takes. Of course, I had a goal for everything to be done before the kids went back to school, but even focusing and improving one area would improve how the house functions. So yeah, it would be great to get every single thing done, but just sorting everybody's clothes out was a great start that could be built upon. And that's something I want you to take away from this video if you're in a similar position. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady helps you avoid burnout and intense stress that can actually set you and the house back again. Be kind to yourself. For some of us, it is just harder to keep on top of things, and we do have to work at it and be conscious of it all the time. Day 2 came along and I was raring to go. This room was absolutely doing my head in. And I hadn't gone through my clothes in such a long time. I actually keep my clothes in storage tubs under the bed, and since I've had Velma and we have the next to me crib, my clothes have become harder to get to, which of course has led me to just smushing clothes in willy-nilly. I say of course, but this isn't standard behaviour from everybody, I know, but it is for me. I don't have a high tolerance for things that waste my time, and I find pulling out all of the boxes and searching through them to be a huge waste of my time. But do you know what's an even bigger waste of my time? Having to do this now. Will I learn? Probably not, to be honest. Anyway, the issue now is that everything's all mixed up and I don't have a specific tub for specific items, like one for trousers, one for tops. So along with decluttering, that's what I need to sort out. So we've got a pile here that I'm getting rid of. This can be the attic pile because I will unfortunately need to be going back to work at some point. And that's the little pile I'm keeping. And then I'm going to clean this box out because... and then I'll just do the same thing over and over again until we've got our keep pile, our attic pile and our get rid pile. I don't know why I've just decided to start talking to the camera as I'm filming. This is very unusual for me, but I'm just so stressed out and I wanted to document it in real time because there's so much going on in this room. Like pretty much all of upstairs is stressing me out. Here I've got a box here of Valma's bows because she's got like a whole collection of bows and I don't regret that at all. Here the boys have got like an obsession with those squishy dumplings, but for some reason they're all now piled into my room because where Rudy keeps them on his desk, the sun keeps going in. And I've just realised that makes absolutely no sense. What I was saying is the sun keeps shining on them and it's like damaging the material, so they're like bursting and they're quite expensive for squishy dumplings. I'm trying to practice a new skill where it's like talking in the moment because it makes me kind of nervous. I'm a bit more like pensive in real life and I say a lot and I can edit that out when I'm doing a voiceover, but I thought this would be like more personal. So let me know what you think. The floor needs carpet vacuuming yet again. I don't know how it gets so dirty, but yeah, just showing you around like in real time just so you can get a complete picture of what a nightmare this room is. I know it must look like we've gone back in time to the chaotic days, but it isn't the case at all. It's just I'm in the middle of sorting things, and to sort things I have to move things around and everything's just up in the air. Yeah, but we're going to sort it. I have faith and it's going to be sorted just before we go back to school, or the kids go back to school, and we'll hopefully have a really nice, smooth running, functional house by the end of this. This here is another thing I need to sort out. I'm just going to tip this all out onto the floor and then hoover that. And yeah, I'm trying to practice this skill as well because like the time it takes me to do voiceover, if I can manage to do a little bit of like talking in the footage, I don't have to go back and do more voiceover afterwards. I know like it's going to take some like practice because I'm not sat down like purely thinking and looking at the footage and talking about the footage, so it's a lot less coherent because I'm trying to focus on multiple things. But yeah, consider this an actual body double experience. I'm just doing this with baby wipes, but yeah, I can practice more and more and we'll see how it goes. You've got to keep trying to grow and evolve, haven't you, as a person, and put yourself out of your comfort zone. And that I'm a big advocate for putting yourself out of your comfort zone and trying new things. So my plan is I've got 4 baskets under the bed, and they're really not accessible at the minute, but it is what it is. We've not got much space. But my plan is I'm going to have a drawer for PJs and underwear, a drawer for like dresses and kind of go-y arty stuff, a drawer for tops, and a drawer for trousers and shorts and that kind of thing. And Velma is in the bed and she's just woken up. Hi! So while we're here, I'm just going to fill this one up and we're going to make this one a tops drawer. I'm not really bothered about whether it's like neatly folded or not because we have a little mini iron thing downstairs, so anything that's like really creased like this just gets ironed before we wear it. as long as everything fits in, that's all I care about. And I'm just going to take Velma downstairs in a second to her dad so I can carry on. Just want to get this done. I'm trying to do one little bit a day so I don't get overwhelmed. So like the other day I did Ike's set of drawers, which are going to be Rudy's set of drawers now because they're bigger. Rudy's getting bigger. And I'm going to move Ike's stuff now. He's starting school this year. I'm going to move Ike's stuff into the boys' bedroom. Rudy's stuff is going to be in here. And I really, really need to cut down on how many clothes I have. Trouble is at the minute, and I don't know what it is, must be something in the food or the water at the minute, but all of my kids are having growth spurts. So Rudy the other month grew 1.5 centimetre in 1 month and Ike grew 1. So they're just like going through clothes like no man's business at the minute. So I'm not doing a very good job of keeping up and getting rid of the clothes that they've outgrown. And then I am keeping up in terms of buying new clothes, but I do need to be more consistent with it. I'm just going to move this box out of the way now and we'll start on the next one, and then I'll probably have to have a little break because we've got a doctor's appointment in about 20-30 minutes, and that's the thing you don't see when I'm just doing the voiceovers, that you have to stop and start so much, and there's just so much going on at all times, especially now we've got 3 kids, right, and my brain is just completely gone. So, okay, yes. So yeah, there are some things that I really, really don't want to get rid of. Probably will never fit in again, but they're really precious. And I've said this probably about over 3 years now, for 3 years, that there's some things I need to part with. But now, I don't want to, and I'm not going to. If I don't want to, I don't have to. So they're going in the attic. Fed up with making up all these rules for myself and how I should behave and what I should be doing to run a functional home. Like, we're all different, aren't we? And if I want to, like, I've decluttered so much stuff and I've worked so hard to get to this point, but there are some things I don't want to be minimalist, so that's that. So I've got some shorts, I'm going to keep them. This bra can go in the bin. These can all go in the attic. Right, do we need this top? There are some, like this has got stains on, and old me would have been like, yeah, we need that for when we're cleaning. Do we? No, let's get rid of it. Fluffy pyjamas. I hate sleeping in fluffy pyjamas, especially now I'm a lot bigger. Like when I was younger, I'd actually feel the cold because I was like, what, 4 stone lighter. Now it's an actual like sensory nightmare sleeping in fluffy pyjamas. This is like a little Halloween. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Bear in mind, these ones have gone through like, I don't know how many big declutters have I done. I know I do loads of little declutters now, but these big declutters, this stuff has made it through like 5 rounds of decluttering. So they must be precious to me. This is a decent cleaning top, or just like a lounging around the house top. Christmas PJs, they can go. These can go. All these leggings, horrible coloured leggings. I've got the same leggings. There you go. Look at this lovely, like I would, I'm never going to fit into this. But look, it's so nice. After 3 kids and 3 C-sections, I would one day, like if I ever have enough money, I would actually like a tummy tuck. Because it's not just for like loose skin. My abs are so separated now, like I just look continuously pregnant. So I'm not ashamed to admit I would like a mummy makeover one day. So maybe one day I would be able to fit in this. That would be a dream. But never mind, I like me at any size I'm at. That's just one random sock. I've actually managed now to accrue a pile of actual socks, because there was a point like I'd have to use Rudy's socks because I could never find mine, but now I've got into the habit of actually putting, like when I put things into the wash, and I've got the kids to do this too, when we're putting stuff into the laundry, we pair our socks up. We don't just lob them in like, what's the word, as two separate entities. That is the weirdest choice of language, but yes. We pair them up, so then when they're about to go in the washing machine, we can unpair them and then pair them back up, and we've actually managed to keep on track of a lot of socks now. So that's progress. They can go in the bin. I do want to keep some leggings, but these just like, yeah, I'll keep them. And then we've got another, just completely gross. Look. How's that getting there? I don't understand. Clean that one out now. I'm going to do that again, just pour it out, and then I am going to hoover. But yeah, we've got a doctor's appointment because I've, like, for the past, probably before I actually had Velma, I've been having like stomach issues. And I hate talking about illnesses and stuff because obviously when I was poorly in the pregnancy, I feel like that's all I spoke about, and I don't want people to think that's me just making excuses for why things are the way they are, because it really doesn't impact like how much I function from day to day, but it is getting progressively worse. Like just before we went on holiday, I woke up one morning, well it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, with really, really bad pain under my ribs and like to my left side where my stomach is, to the point that when we were meant to be packing, because we had like 2 days before we went, I had to spend the entire day in bed, and Charlie had to like shoulder all the responsibility of packing, which is fine, because that's what we do for each other. But yeah, basically had to be, I've lost my train of thought now. I don't know what I was going to say. Yes, I think it's come to the point now where I need to speak to a doctor about it, because it's not, I thought maybe at the start, because I've been having like intestinal problems, shall I say, for quite a while, but it's getting progressively worse and progressively more often. And it's got to the point now, I think, yeah, maybe I should look into this because it doesn't seem to be going away. I thought it might be like the remnants of a stomach bug. You know, like when you have a stomach bug and it causes you to have like gut issues for a while because it messes up like your microbiome. But I think it might be more leaning towards something like IBS now, which is not ideal because I can just be sat there 1 minute and then the next minute I have to run to the toilet, and this is causing me a lot of anxiety. It's causing me a lot of anxiety because I'm thinking when I go back to work, I'm shop floor colleague and I have to be on the tills quite a lot as well. And I can't just be serving customers and then be like, oh, I've got to run to the toilet now. And it happens quite often as well, and when I do have to run to the toilet, I'm stuck there for quite a while. So yeah, I've just realised this is completely different from my normal videos. I hope you're not too put out by this. I know it's probably not what you've expected. But yeah, I can do what I want. It's my channel. Hello, it's Other Remy again. Just to let you know, I will be going back and forth from voiceover to kind of like my live thoughts at the time. So this is why the video is a bit longer. It's more of like a decluttering documentary, if you will. But I wanted it to feel like you were really in the room with me and we were getting through it together. And you can really get a sense of just how long these things take. Although I will say I was totally distracted at some points and I was stopping what I was doing to sit and talk to the camera. So I don't know whether that's going to become a problem. I mean, you tell me. Do you want to hear about my IBS symptoms? No, but just think, from a body double perspective, if we were doing this together in real life and in real time, this is more how it would be. Things take time, you get distracted, you have a little chat about anything and everything, and you leave each other feeling like a weight's been lifted, happier and understood. I do want to say though, I won't be doing this in every video because sometimes it is more helpful to see the whole process without interruptions. But every now and then, I think this will help you get to know me even better and to know that genuinely I am just a real person plodding away every day. Okay, so I've done that. This here is the keep pile, which unfortunately seems to be bigger than every other pile, but this is all going in a bag and that's being put in the attic for because I'm on a weight loss journey. So some of that is wintry stuff, some of it's work stuff, some of it's stuff I will fit into shortly but not currently. So this is stuff I'm getting rid of, and then this here is my keep pile. And then this here is stuff that is from the holiday, from the suitcase that we've washed and brought up, because obviously you saw me decluttering this drawer, and one of the drawers in here was mine, but it's no longer going to be mine, so everything's just been everywhere. So now we're going to put everything back into its right place and see how much better the room is looking. At this point, I was just so fed up it had gotten to this point again, because I had been working so hard. I'd been decluttering regularly, I'd been keeping on top of the house daily, and yet this still happened. And it just made me realise that sometimes even doing your best at the time won't be able to hold back messy days and messy weeks. But it doesn't mean you're failing, and I want you to remember that. You are not a failure if your house gets messy sometimes. And these are not excuses but reasons. If you're a parent, if you're ill, if it's the school holidays, if you have a demanding job with long hours, if you're neurodivergent, if you're grieving, or even just because. These are all reasons things might get on top of you, even despite your best efforts. We're all in this together. So this is the stuff bagged up that needs to be bagged up. And I know not all of it is leaving the house, but it's leaving this room, and it's leaving like the livable areas of the house. So one is going to be donated, one's going in the attic. That's 2 bags of stuff out of the way, which is good. Velma was having another nap while I did this, but she's woken up again now. She's having a look round. She's very, very, very nosy. Aren't you, Velms? But that means probably another break now, because that's life with a baby. Charlie's downstairs playing Minecraft with the boys while we did this. While I did this and you napped. And as you can hear, it's very, very noisy in this bedroom, but we have to have the windows open because it's 1 billion degrees. Right, baby's downstairs. I got myself a drink. How many people did that annoy? I'm losing the absolute will. The thing is, I'm just thinking, I'm going to sort all this, but the whole house still needs sorted and the mess still happens so fast. But if I just keep plodding along at it, I mean, I've got slobber on my arm. If I just keep plodding along at it bit by bit, it will eventually turn out well. Maybe. I feel like David Brent, you know, when he just looks at the camera. This does not feel natural to me at all. But I'm thinking, if I can do parts of the footage like this, then it means that you get more videos, because I'm not spending hours and hours doing voiceover. I mean, obviously I'm still going to be doing a lot of voiceover, but yeah, I do want to make some like friendly, real-time, like FaceTimey kind of cleans, mixed in with some speed cleaning and obviously the normal voiceover. But I'm just trying to find ways to do it. But I do fumble over my words a lot in real life. My brain works faster than my mouth can say words. Okay, so next we're going to fill these trays. I'm going to think about what order they need to go in, because like which do I need like at the base of the bed, which can I push underneath where Velma's next to me crib is, because that's the one I'm going to think, oh, I can't be bothered to get into that one because I have to like dig. But I'm thinking PJs needs to take priority space, and then dresses can go all the way on the other end, and then tops and trousers can go in like the middle bit, and that sounds good to me. Obviously PJs will take centre stage. Got a lemon seed. If someone was stood drinking staring at the camera, I'd be absolutely livid. I'd turn it off. I am sorry. Anyway. Next it was time to sort the holiday clothes, and the relief I felt when these were finally out of sight was immense. One of the things I find really difficult is visual clutter, and not just because it's stressful to look at, but because it sets off some kind of chemical reaction in my brain that tells me to just make more mess because it's already messy. I've just thought the only downside to this, as me doing it this way, is how much time wasting I'm going to do. Because this is what I'm like when I'm doing like things with my friends. If I'm trying to get an activity done and I feel like I'm actually genuinely talking to someone in real time, I will get distracted and I'll stop what I'm doing, I'll stand still and talk, I'll walk around and talk, and I won't get anything done. But I've committed to it now, so it's another Asda top. But yeah, back to what I was saying about piles of mess. Instead of just fixing it, I seem to add to it, almost out of spite towards myself, and it's a behaviour that I am working on. So here I am putting everything back into the tubs, and now I have actual allotted tubs and I'm going to know where to find certain items, which will mean things aren't pulled out and left all over the floor when I'm in a rush. And I know this sounds really silly, but I'll also feel more inclined to actually get dressed into something nice in the mornings. It really is the little things. And ever since I had Ike, who's my second son, he's nearly 5 now, I really did stop making an effort and I just lived in pyjamas. And I don't know if you've noticed in more recent videos, I am working to change that. I want to find my style again and what works for the body I'm in right now. And I want to embrace me at every stage and not wait until I'm 100% happy with the way I look to actually dress nicely. Okay, so this is what we're left with. So we've got our like dressy stuff, and I've not folded them because I'll just iron them if I want to use them. Trousers, skirts and shorts, leggings, pyjamas and socks and stuff like that, and then I'll just wait for the car. And then over there is tops, and nothing's overflowing, everything's going to fit, and I'd say that's pretty good going for another day. And we've got so much more to do, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be an absolute marathon of a video, probably the longest one I've ever done. But I know there are going to be so many other people in my situation that are just panicking about getting the house sorted and just wanting the first few weeks back to school to be calm, not chaotic, not scrambling to find things in every single cupboard. And speaking of cupboards, you're going to be disappointed in me, but I've had another baby, so please don't be too harsh on me. I'm trying to find space for things. We're going to be working on this cupboard at some point. Yeah, the thing is, most of it is just, let me just turn you around. It's just jumpers and things. Like, I'm gonna, up here needs sorting, and then I can move stuff up there. I need to be really, really ruthless and just, like these baskets, I tried to make it, there was the time I tried to make it all like aesthetically pleasing. Did I care about what it looked like? No. These baskets, they don't get used. This one makeup bag gets used, so yeah, but that's enough for another day. So after I finished my decluttering for the day, I wanted to actually tidy up a bit and make this room presentable again. I think I deserved that after all of my hard work. Usually when we've been on holiday, we do a huge whole house deep clean and tidy so that we can come back and the only thing we have to deal with is unpacking the clothes. But like I said in the holiday vlog, things are just a lot more intense and demanding when you've got a 5-month-old baby. And we just decided not to stress ourselves beforehand. I knew I had loads of work to do decluttering when I got back, so what's a little more work on top of that? I did feel accomplished after everything I managed to get done so far, but I still felt like the house was in some kind of chaotic limbo. The prospect of everything that still needed to be done was weighing heavily on my mind. I couldn't believe that after all of the declutters we've done and the regular declutters, that this was still the position we were in. I was tidying and cleaning every day and doing the everyday bits and bobs, but despite my efforts, nothing looked neat and tidy. I really pride myself on being a positive person, being resilient and adaptable and seeing the best in every situation, but it all just felt so demoralising. And by the next day, it had really gotten to me. Today Charlie's at work and I've got all 3 kids with me, so I won't be doing any big projects today. I'm just in the middle of just doing like some cleaning up in, yeah, that. But I thought I'd show you around like the whole house just to give you an idea of the like massive projects we've got on our hands. Here at the minute, that's all holiday washing. Hello, Ike. That's just holiday washing that we've just washed and that needs putting away. But this table, yet again, is just an area that we can't use. So I'm going to have to sort through all of this. It's like, what's the word? Projects. Schoolwork that's come back home with the kids, and I really don't like throwing them away, but it's just like amassing a massive pile of stuff on the table. There's a Lego project here, some socks that need to get put away. The snake stuff, we don't have a place for that, but I need to find a place for that. And then just halfway through the pots, That window desperately needs cleaning because the kids have been playing in the pool, and every time they play in the pool it splashes everywhere and causes these watermarks. Velma's asleep upstairs, so that's what you can hear there. So I've just got to run the monitor, but yes, again, that needs sorting. So then hopefully we won't have stuff on the table all the time. This needs sorting. It used to be Mushroom's cupboard, but obviously Mushroom doesn't live with us anymore. And oh, I've just noticed that. Oh my. Yeah, that will be sorted as well. That mark there's where Mushroom chewed up the floor, so it's... I really want to get something to cover that mark there because it just looks dirty. Really upsetting. I've actually mopped this morning, but it doesn't really make a difference on these floors. So yes, that is what we're dealing with in here. And then see this, we just have hoovers everywhere because we don't have a place to store them. And then, excuse me boys, and then this here is just stuff from the holiday as well that needs taking up. We've got a bag of like beach towels and stuff that, yeah? Okay, do you think Rudy might like it? Do you want to see if Rudy wants that one? Yeah, so that's like a more clean washing. And then this, Velma's now grown out of it, but it's part of like a set. So I don't know whether I think we're going to put it in the attic and then wait till it's all, like we don't no longer use all of it and like resell it as a whole like car seat, pushchair and pram set. Because it would just make no sense getting rid of that. That's someone else can benefit from that. And it's a really, really nice pushchair as well. And then here we've got tub of paint because we're doing the bathroom, and this is the trellis. I'll find somewhere for that, but as you can see it just seems like a massive shambles, and trying to do it when all three kids are home is very So we're upstairs now. I'm having to be quiet because obviously Velma's asleep, but this is the stuff I decluttered yesterday. Just needs sorting, but obviously Charlie's at work today, so and then here, toiletries from holiday that we haven't put away yet. Ike was playing doctors last night, so that's a doctor's robe. I've got a pillowcase full of clothes we decluttered like a few before we went on holiday, so oh my, it's just a shambles. But yeah, that needs going as well. These just need stain removing. They've got a few stains on them. By the way, the bathroom, only room in the house that actually looks presentable right now. Just got some joggers in here, really got spaghetti sauce on them, so I'll pop them in there, we'll sort them later. This room just speaks for itself. That whole room needs decluttering again. Just a bag of stuff from holiday. Stain on the floor from when I kicked over my drink. Still haven't sorted that yet. Don't even know what to say for myself, but yes, the lights laundry baskets, actually we've done that basically, so now this is the next load. I'm obviously going to go through and declutter these laundry baskets again, but it just feels like a never-ending cycle. So as you can see, it's going to be a miracle if this house actually looks presentable by the end of it, but I'm determined. Anyway, I look as dishevelled as I feel, but if you hear me going all the time, I don't feel well. I really don't feel well. I don't know whether it's just stress, or obviously I've had to go and take poo samples to the doctors the other day. That was embarrassing. Yesterday, after I did all of the decluttering of my clothes. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I don't know. Poo. It's just natural poo. But yeah, it just feels like we've come so far and it's all been undone, and I just feel disappointed. I feel like you guys are going to be disappointed in me and think like, I don't know what you're going to think, but at the end of the day, I've never claimed to be perfect. I've never claimed to be some kind of like cleaning and organising guru. I'm just a mum, like on a journey, and those journeys have highs and lows. We've introduced a new baby, and while I was really on track when she was newborn, she's very, very demanding now. We've got loads of new clothes and new things coming into the house at all times. We've been on holiday, and these things happen. This is one of probably the most vulnerable video you'll have seen so far. Yeah, because I'm not managing to think about what I'm saying before I say it. This is literally just real me in the moment as I'm going along. And probably in a few weeks when I've got more done, you'll see a completely different side of me. But right now I feel really disheartened. Somebody has woken up. Hi, it's so nice to see you. Did you have a good sleep? Day 4, we were back to work and I decided to carry on with the clothes decluttering and start on Rudy's clothes. Bear in mind, each day I had different time constraints and I didn't have too long to get much done on this day. I was quite frankly irritated thinking about all of the spaces and drawers in this room alone that I needed to get through. So I did have to take a few deep breaths, ground myself and remind myself to focus on just one area at a time. Just keep moving forward. Of course, my angry brain kept countering that with, well, something else will just get messy and cluttered in the time it takes you to do this and it's just going to be a vicious cycle. But I reminded myself that even though it didn't feel that way right now, we were still in a hugely different situation now than we were 5 years ago. What has taken me an hour to do today would have taken an entire day before, and that's how I try to measure progress on occasions such as these. I reject this idea that if you've gotten to a certain level of organisation or cleanliness or tidiness in your house, or in any area of your life really, that you can't regress with it. And I suppose this is only really highlighted if you put your life out there on social media. But people who follow along, they start to have certain expectations and hopes for you and almost suggest that if you don't stay at the point you're at or improve even further still, then you were never at a good point with it in the first place. And there will always be people waiting in the wings to say, ha, told you so, I predicted this was never going to last. But that erases the humanity of it all. We're not robots. Yes, when I first had Velma, I was at a great point with the house. We had a lot less stuff. We were a lot less tired. Now things have changed again and they'll change again and they'll change again because that's the human experience. And of course, we all want our progress to always be trending upwards, but that doesn't mean there won't be dips. Because an upward trending graph with troughs is still upward trending. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't erase all of the effort you've put in and all of the progress you've made. These are all experiences we can learn from. And I don't know if this is a niche experience for a lot of people. Probably is. I know a lot of people will have put changes in and then after that have managed to maintain the house to a certain standard from that point on. But actually, it's not niche, no. I know there will be plenty of us that have made amazing amounts of progress and then relaxed a little bit, dropped the ball maybe. Maybe a big life event happened or a school holiday, and then suddenly they're faced with a situation such as this, where they're feeling totally disheartened and a little bit embarrassed because this wasn't how it was supposed to go. Things were only supposed to get better and better and easier. But that's not real life, is it? It's not everybody's experience, and I'm here to show you that you're not alone. It's okay to be vulnerable and honest. It's okay to have ups and downs. And the only person who's truly failed at something is someone who's stopped trying altogether. And that's not us, is it, guys? Absolutely not. So yeah, sitting down and being totally honest with myself, what do I need to do right now? Well, I need to do what I'm doing in this video. I need a factory reset when it comes to decluttering. I did promise myself that I'd never have to do one of these huge declutters again. In fact, I was bragging about it the other day, which is embarrassing. And it's because I have been doing mini declutters every few weeks and I have been being consistent. But it is what it is. What I've been doing wasn't enough to stop this from happening. Back to the drawing board. We move forward and we modify our behaviour again and find something that works even better. And that is more strategic and consistent declutters, not putting random stuff into cupboards and forgetting about them, finding homes for every single thing in the house, actually taking the time to put things back every time they're used. And if I can't find a home for them or I haven't used them for 6 months, do we really need them? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And after this, we need to have a 1 in, 1 out rule when it comes to clothes. That is the plan. So we're back in the boys' bedroom today because I thought I want to just continue in this room until it's finished because it's the summer holidays and they deserve to have a room where they know where everything is and it's not like overcrowded. Here, this is stuff I decluttered again before we went on holiday. But there's stuff in here that I also want to put in the attic for memories. I always do that with all of my kids, like these jumpers. My stepsister, it's coming a bit loose, but my stepsister embroidered these for them. They don't fit into them anymore, but obviously I want to keep them for memories. So I think that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go through this and think about what I'm going to donate and what I'm going to keep, and then we'll start in one of the cupboards. I also want to do this desk, just organise it, declutter it. And we've got this cupboard here and the top drawer there. So I'm just going to make 2 piles. You'll probably have noticed that Van was on the monitor again, because while Charlie's at work, this is like my only option to get some stuff done. So she's always asleep and I've got the monitor and I'm watching her at all times. And then the boys are just chilling downstairs. But it's a small house. Someone commented on, I think it was on TikTok, that the kids are too young to be left in another room by themselves. They're 5 and 10. But yeah, the house is so small I can hear them at all times. But yes, if that was the case, and we were going by that logic that you can't leave your children in another room, like, when would we ever get anything done? Like, when do we get to go and do the pots? That's actually what I was doing. I was doing the pots, and the kids were in literally the living room. So you know the layout of the house, like there's the kitchen there, living room there, and that door between is always open. So I'm essentially in the same room as them, but apparently, no, that's not acceptable. But look at these lovely cardies. I absolutely love handmade cardigans. So I'm going to save them. No, hold on, I've made the wrong, right, that's my save pile. That's a going pile. My cousin got this from a charity shop, bless her, from Next. Sweet. These are just, so Ike, he used to go to a forest school. So like they play outside constantly, and the amount of clothes that are just stained with mud, that is one thing I'm glad about now that he's going up to primary school. I mean, I'm gutted for him because nothing's better than a forest school, but I can now get rid of all the stained clothes, because half of his drawer was just full of stained clothes that we used to it's another embroidered one that we used to just keep because that's what he wore. Like, we had like a literal collection of just paint stained, mud stained clothes or like clothes with like holes at the knees. He used to wear these to forest school, but now we can get rid of them and all of the clothes will actually be presentable. So that's good. But these dungarees, these actually used to be Rudy's, so we've had them for 10 years. Well, probably not 10 years because I don't think it was 10 when we got them. 8 years. So we do get use out of a lot of the clothes. We do like hand-me-downs and stuff like that. That's why I put stuff in the attic as well. But yeah, look, just absolutely covered in paint. Most of this is just going to be a donate pile. Well, obviously not the stained bits, but just for the time being. Oh, that's really cute. These things, I ruined a load of them by putting them in the tumble dryer. We're still trying to figure out the tumble dryer at the time, and it like shrunk it all up, but they're so pretty. But yeah, as I was saying, what was I saying? Yes, I was saying I'm gonna bag up the stuff I'm keeping for the attic. Put that in I'm gonna put that in a separate bag because my stuff, I don't want it all. It's gonna be too confusing if it's all bagged up in the same bag. But obviously, I'm not going to donate the stuff that's covered in paint. But for the purposes of what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to keep that one. Yeah, for the purposes of what I'm doing right now, I'm just doing 2 piles, and then as things get more like bearable, as I get more of a handle on things, then I'll go through it again. Actually, to be fair, I'm hoping in the next few days that Charlie will do like a tip and donate run. So I really don't want to get rid of these. So I'll actually have to do it sooner rather than later. I'm not going to wait. This is something I do. I always wait until like the perfect moment. That's what my brain like gravitates towards. Just wait until everything's a bit more like calm, and then we can do things, and then we can sort things, rather than let's just sort it now. So yeah, I probably will do that after I've done this room today, or after I've finished what I'm doing today. I will go through this pile as well and get rid of all of the stuff. No, I'm going to do it now. Stop it, Remy. Right, so that is my keep pile. I've got my donate pile here. Okay, and then I will just put the stained stuff in the bin, because who wants a stained jean? This is Velma's little England thing I bought for the World Cup. Some fluffy joggers. Let me see if they're stained actually, because he did used to wear these to forest school as well. Yes. Right, where's that bag? I was in here the other day getting rubbish, so it's just gonna go in. Stained stuff, it's going away. Stuff with holes in the bin. I really want to do a car boot. I was asking my sister, because she goes to them and actually does them quite often. But I wouldn't know where to start. I'd find it so embarrassing. Like, and I'd feel like people, I get imposter syndrome in like the weirdest of places, and I'd think people were thinking you're not meant to be here. So I really want someone to go with me. I'm gonna see if my friends will go with me and do like a store, because I've got so many nice like baby clothes that like this. She's probably wore this once. I'm sure someone else would like that. And it would be nice to be able to get some, like, because mostly I just donate like just for free. But some of the stuff that's like from Next and stuff that's barely been used, like Ike's got some Vans trainers, he's worn them once and the sizing was a bit off. So I'd like to like do a little stand and see if I can make a little bit of pocket money from that, but we'll see. Okay, I'm just rambling now. So that is, I've put them in the bin. This bag's going to go to the tip. At the end I'll show you so far how many bags we've actually got, because we're making good progress. It's just the fact that the bags are scattered everywhere and there's like random stuff scattered everywhere because I'm like moving things from drawer to drawer. So, and that's another reason I'm not doing my cupboard yet, because I know it will just stress me out while there's so much stuff already out. I'll just check Velma's okay. She's okay. It's got a sound thing. If you can hear like a white noise thing, it's the fan. Just because the kids, especially Ike, can be so loud. Like he'll scream a lot if he doesn't get his own way. Only with his brother, he just, yeah. So that can startle her awake. So if there's like a white noise on in the background, that helps. Right, I need to get some more bags. And I'm going to move these out because obviously I want to clean and organise in here, and the bags will not help. So I'm just going to move each of these bags out of this room into the hallway. This one as well, that was from Rudy's drawers. Yeah, and this as well, I'm going to put that in the hallway. And it's not ideal because the hallway at the minute is stressing me out more than anything in the house. But once Charlie's got a day that he can go to the tip, that's like it's going to be a massive weight off my mind. And then I can, oh, who's that? It's my mother. She'll be doing word salad. We try and beat each other. It's like a daily quiz, and you've got like it gives you like a hint, and then you have to make how many words do you have to make? Like 6 words. It's quite funny. Me, my auntie, my cousin, and my mum do it, and then we get like a gold, silver, and bronze, and then a poo emoji. Whoever comes last gets the poo. But yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah. Hopefully, then the hallway's going to be. I can start working on making the hallway nice again because all the bags won't be in there anymore. But yeah, I anticipate there's going to be a lot more bags than this over the next few weeks. By the way, I hope this goes without saying. Obviously, because you're seeing me do a little bit consecutively each day. Obviously, because it's the summer holidays, we are going out and we're going to days out. We're going to go see family. We're doing lots of different stuff behind the scenes, but I'm trying to do it a little bit every day, even if like I only have half an hour on that day to do something. There are going to be some days I just won't be able to, but I'm forever in the pursuit of balance, as always, and I want to balance the fun summer holidays with actually being productive in this way as well. Not saying going out and having fun isn't productive, because it absolutely is. But yeah, you know what I mean. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, is this all she's done all summer holiday? No, we've done other stuff. And obviously I do like little, I do sometimes do little mini blogs and stuff, vlogs. of our days out, but obviously this is a cleaning channel first and foremost. But yeah, we're going to, I think I'm going to do a little mini vlog of, we're going to a scarecrow festival at the start of August, which is a little tradition where I live, where like people all create, have you ever seen this country, where they have like, they all make scarecrows and then like they'll rank them and everybody like votes for their favourite scarecrow. It's really cute. But yeah, it's a bit like that, but you like drive around and like they're all across the village, and then everybody gets to like pick which is their favourite scarecrow, and then there's like a first, second and third place. But yeah, I think I'm going to take you along for that just because it's really, really cute. So I'll do a little short on that. I'm getting so distracted today. I'm really tired. Remember when I said at the start that I'm just stood here with the bags? Remember I said at the start when Velma was born, I was like, oh, she sleeps through the night, I get loads done, she's my easiest baby. She now no longer sleeps through the night, which I did say this is probably like too good to be true. She still is the best sleeper. Rudy, and I'm not joking, used to wake up every 20 minutes for probably 3 years. I was not myself during that time, so tired, and that's why I gained a lot of weight, you know, because I think when you're that tired, your body's just like, please just give me something, give me energy, give me comfort, I'm tired. So yeah, please give me feedback on these kind of videos, because I'm actually quite enjoying it. I'm especially enjoying the thought of not having to go and do like the same amount of work again in voiceovers. But then again, it's not the voiceovers you're used to, because yeah, it's just me in the moment. But I do have to actually do some voiceover when I finish this, when Charlie's at work obviously, so he'll be with the boys, and I'm going to do some voiceover because I've got a holiday vlog I'm in the process of doing a voiceover for. So I think I'm going to take you along, I sit here because it's like this kind of structure makes it less echoey, so I just sit here and do voiceover. But I thought maybe I should bring you behind the scenes, because I just it's interesting, isn't it? Like, you only see certain sides of like creators' lives or what they want to put out for you. You never really see the behind the scenes, even though I feel like my videos are kind of behind the scenes in a way anyway. But like, this is extra behind the scenes, and you'll be able to see the ins and outs of like what goes into making a video as well, because obviously, so I film on both of my phones. I do my vertical for short form, so I'll edit on this one because I'm doing a quick, it's like a 90-second vlog, and then there'll be a 23-minute long form video, which you'll have probably already seen at this point when you see this video. But yeah, so I film on both. I don't have a camera, I just film on my phones. Yeah, and then I edit on an app called Splice. Let me show you. So can you see? Here's me and Charlie, just unpacking the suitcase. Yeah, so that'll be coming up soon, but it's got no voiceover yet. The voiceover bar, it goes underneath. So that's what I'll be doing later on. Who's awake again? It's Velma. Yes. She sleeps for like 15 minutes at a time. By the way, because we still have to keep the house afloat during all of this, I have been doing my daily cleans and tidies, obviously, and I have been making short form content, little daily cleans, resets, and they'll be posted on here as shorts so that you can see what else has been happening during this process. And I think what I'll do is add all of it into a playlist so you can watch them all and it'll all make sense, hopefully. I know that I've already posted one short cleaning up all of the bags from the hallway, and I cleaned and carpet vacuumed the hallway at the same time. So yeah, things will kind of be overlapping because obviously this is an extremely long process. And this obviously isn't all I've been doing around the house either during the school holidays. This is just extra. And I think this is why I'm feeling extra stressed and drained, because it just feels never ending. I saw a TikTok of someone saying being an adult is just a series of I've got to do this and then I've got to do this and then I wake up and I have to do this and that again. And it's so true. So I'm just putting anything that doesn't belong in this room in this basket. I'm just going to go around and fill that and then put things back into their rightful homes. This is something that I cannot wait to be over in this house, the fan season, because it's just look, it takes up so much floor space. I don't like the way it looks, but it is just way too hot to not have them. But look, even this, it just looks, this needs sorting. I'm going to get Charlie to sort that later because I don't want to mess anything up, but like this area is like inaccessible now. Like we can't have the chair there. Like, what's the point? Just looks silly, and it is silly. Rudy's desk has started to become really chaotic as well, so I decided to sort that next. Yes, baby. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And let me in, please. I'll tell you what I want to tell you.
I'm right here. I'm in your bedroom, Mike.
I accidentally bought this off.
What is it?
It's from downstairs. I was playing with SpongeBob and I wanted to attach him to this.
What's it off though?
It's off like one of those poles from downstairs.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Just be really careful with it, okay? Because I don't want anybody getting like poked with it. Don't put it in your mouth. You can play with it, that's okay.
I can play with this?
Yeah, you can play with it, just don't put it in your mouth. Keep it in your hands and don't run with it either, okay? I also put so much pressure on myself to make sure my children have a brilliant childhood and most especially a present mum and dad. So it's a massive juggling act in the summer holidays because I want to be spending all my time with them, but I also can't let the house become ridiculous, and sometimes I still fail at that, as I'm sure many of you can relate. Oh, someone's at the door. Take that with me. Yeah, hold on. I have someone commenting on here at the minute claiming to be a psychiatrist, telling me that my heart is in the right place, but that I'm clearly naive to myself and naive to the negative effects I'm having as a parent. I've got another person telling me that my boys are clearly terribly behaved in school because I don't parent properly. I mean, you can make your own mind up when you hear our chats later on in the video. So these, I've said it before in a few videos, but this was for Rudy. I think, how old was he? He must have been about 5. It was for a Christmas present, but he absolutely loved trains, and at the time he loved Marvel. So Ike was a really little baby, so I remember when Rudy was at school, when Ike was having his naps, I'd like plod along painting little characters onto the trains. Let me show you. They're a bit chipped away now because Ike's been playing with them, but so got little Groot and Captain America, which is not the best, but and then got Spider-Man. Where else have we got? Hulk. And then Thanos with all the little infinity stones on the top. And we got Venom as well. It was a lot of fun. I don't do stuff like this much anymore. I really need to start just doing little projects just for the love of it. I feel like everything I do these days has to have like, I have to be like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, if that makes any sense. Like, and I don't like the mindset of that. Like, I used to do things, I used to draw and create just for the joy of it, but now there's always with me like an ulterior motive, and that sounds really horrible, but I just, obviously being a mum, I want to be as efficient as I can whilst also being creative, whilst also having my own hobbies, but also remembering that the days are short and their childhood's short, and I'm trying to cram everything in. And I really do agree with the saying that well, it's not really a saying, but a lot of people say it, that you can't have it all when you're a parent. When you're in this phase of your life, you can't be everything you want to be and do everything you want to do all at the same time. And people that are peddling that to you are just, they're selling you like a false dream, because if you want to do something well, you can't do everything all at once. And I, above everything else, want to be a good mum. I don't want my kids to have any like childhood trauma, and I want them to remember their childhoods fondly. So at this phase of my life, even though I'm a multifaceted person and there's so much more to me than being a mum right now is absolutely 100% the most important thing and the most important job for me right now. I've also got a lot of people making unsolicited comments on my weight. The person that told me she was a psychiatrist actually told me I need to get a handle on my weight for my kids, and I'm thinking, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. It's just wildly inappropriate things to say to a mum or just another human being in general that, one, you'd never say to someone in real life, but two, these things are also not true. Not that I'm not overweight, I'm aware of that. But my kid's being badly behaved. How would you know? But I just wanted to call these people out because it's incredibly patronising. And I don't think creators should just have to keep quiet about it all the time. It isn't well-meaning in the slightest. I have less of a problem with people who are just very blatantly hating, to be honest. And I may be optimistic and try and see the best in people, but I'm also well aware of when criticism and hate is repackaged as care and concern. But yeah, I'm actually a 1.5 stone down since having Velma. Not that it's anyone's business. My health is something I'm actively working on, but apparently just existing as an overweight person and not making it the centre of every single conversation means you just must not be aware and you need to be told. And side note, guys, remember that your weight and your looks are the least interesting thing about you, honestly. And yeah, also assuming that you know the ins and outs of someone's parenting, their relationship, how their children behave at school, based on 30-minute videos about cleaning, which is just one tiny aspect of someone's life. It's all just nonsense, quite frankly. So this is what we're going to keep on the desk, and then I've got to now find homes or get rid of everything I've left on here because it's just too much. It's not a functional desk. Oh, actually, it's got this, I think he went to like Legoland with my mum and stepdad. You want to see? Hold on, you can see in a second. I've just got to get some of the dust off it, but I think we'll put that somewhere on here as well. I have asked Rudy whether I could get rid of these prime bottles now, but the answer is no. I am getting rid of that. But I was going to put some of the things on there because Mummy, I just realised...
What are you getting rid of?
I'm not... just this bingo dabber.
But I want that.
Right, you can have that then, but I'm not going to keep it up here. And then, yeah, I've still got the trains and he's got like a spider in resin. But it just seems so cluttered. I'm figuring stuff out. Maybe that on the windowsill actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put some stuff on the windowsill. Back to what I was saying. I've latched onto this topic now, but it takes a lot of guts to be vulnerable in front of thousands, sometimes millions of people. Doesn't take much to hide behind a screen and scoff at them and tell them all the things they're doing wrong and all the things you do differently. And I tell you what, even with all of my flaws, and I am very flawed, if I had a chance to be anyone else in this world, I'd still choose to be me and live my life 1,000 times over. In my imperfect body that fought to grow and birth my 3 amazing children, in my chaotic small house, because I'm kind. And that's the attribute I value most in this world. And because my life is so loud with love. And with that, I also wanted to express the biggest appreciation to the people who are always so supportive and encouraging. Video after video, year after year. Even your constructive criticism when you do give it means the world to me because I know it's coming from a genuine place. And I notice when you remember tiny little things I've spoken about in a video years ago, and when you've gone out of your way to tell me about your experiences with a cleaning tool, or you share your knowledge about a certain flower that I can't remember the name of, or when you've been brave and shared stories about your struggles or your childhood or pain, and other people in the comments rally around in support. What an honour to see that kind of human care and empathy in a virtual community that I've built. Sometimes I still can't believe it. I've even started recognising certain people's profile pictures because you are always there and it means the absolute world. It really does. So although I've called out certain comments, and I still think that was justified, the good always outweighs the bad, and I wanted to acknowledge that too. So I had intended to get a lot more done in this room, but the desk ended up taking a lot longer than I expected, and I had a dinner date with some of my best friends, so I went and got dressed and then I carried on having a lovely chat with Rudy until it was time to leave. One of my other best friends is getting married, so we met up to discuss bridesmaids' dresses. I've never been a bridesmaid before. Actually, I have when I was about 3. I'm so excited. What kind of animal?
Species, bird.
Oh, bird. And when did they live?
Dinos.
Oh,
Jurassic. Prehistoric. I think it was prehistoric or Jurassic.
well, Jurassic's a time period in the prehistoric. So there's like Jurassic and Cretaceous.
Crustaceous is crustacean.
Cretaceous.
What crustaceous?
It's not for crustaceans, although I think there was crustaceans. It's
What's
just
the
called the
horseshoe?
Cretaceous period.
Well, that's where. Isn't prehistoric when horseshoe crabs?
I'll have a research in a minute.
No. Horseshoe crabs were around before trees were.
That's crazy, isn't it?
They were the first ever animal to live on this planet.
What, horseshoe crabs?
Yeah. I think they were the first fully formed animal.
I learnt recently that that sharks are older than trees.
Yeah, they are.
How weird is that?
Every fish on this planet is older than trees. Fish were the first animal. Fish were before birds, mammals, insects. Some fish actually evolved. Some fish actually evolved to be insects.
doesn't make sense in my
Some
brain.
fish evolved to crustaceans, then those crustaceans turned into insects.
It's really
So there's
cool,
a
isn't
fish, well, it was like a cuttlefish.
Yeah.
Cuttlefish with a hard exo. It was like a horseshoe crab, elongated. And guess what it is now?
What?
A spider.
Wow.
Oh, it's like this long.
Yeah.
It had like 6 body pieces.
Yeah.
It was like a giant isopod, but with 8 legs.
Wow.
And it evolved to be that weird 8-legged creature
Very cool.
with only 2 body segments. Also, spider crab evolved into harvestmans.
That is believable, that one. I'm going to put your bad guys books here. Because we're running out of room on your desk and I don't want to make it overcrowded. Is that okay?
Yeah. I like my desk how that is.
Yeah, it's nice like that, isn't it? Yeah, that looks good. Very cool. So I've finally got time to do a voiceover, so I'll show you how it works. I was going to do it a few days ago, like I said, but then I ran out of time, as always happens, but I'm going to show you now. So I really have to get into a different kind of state to do the voiceovers, because it's, as I said, I'm awkward and weird. But not so, I mean still, but not so much in the voiceovers because they have to flow. So, come on! Oh no, I've started a new project. I'm on my app. Oh, that takes ages now. I have to wait for it to load and then take it back off again. Very annoying because I'm on the clock. Right, let me scroll, find it. We've got a 90-second video we're doing today. Okay. Our trip to Tenby in 90 seconds. Our trip to Tenby in 90 seconds. Should I say our trip to Tenby in 90 seconds? No, it's a bit boring. Should I say come to Tenby with us? Come along to Tenby with us. It's hard because I don't want it to feel rushed, but at the same time, because it's a short form content, it's got to kind of go next, and people will, like, otherwise they'll just click away and they'll be like, I'm not interested in this. And you have to grab people's interest in literally like within seconds, and it's kind of crazy. Come along to Tenby with us. And I'll figure something out. I don't like what I've just done there either. So I'm just in the middle of like a kitchen upgrade kind of refresh thing for TikTok and Facebook. I might make it into a short as well for YouTube, so you might see like all of that on YouTube as well. But I am gonna declutter and clear the table, because in this video I want to get the high chair. I've got Velma a high chair. She's got about 4 days left before she can start to try food. So I didn't want to wait, because I was in this video, I was originally just going to do all of upstairs and then make downstairs into another video, but I thought no, I want to get the most, like the things that are impacting us the most out of the way, which is the table. So I'm going to do that in this video, and I think that will then be the end of this video because it's getting really long. And also I thought this will be for parents in the summer holidays, so if I post it, I finish it at the end of the summer holidays, say, it's not going to be helpful, is it? So if I do like maybe a 2 or 3 parter, then we can go through it together, and there'll be bits that people can watch now and then in a week's time and maybe another week's time. And yeah, so that is the plan. So I'm going to declutter the table now, and I might show you some of the other bits I'm doing in here as well, because we're going to be putting some shelves up above the tumble dryer, which is what I've been saying we're going to do for absolutely ages. And also this horrible mark there on the floor that I always go on about, where I can't remember whether it was mushroom or onion. I think it was mushroom. No, it was onion. Scratched up the floor down there, and ever since it just looks like this horrible like mucky patch. And it's not actually mucky. I mean, it is right now because I need to mop. But I bought a little kind of welcome mat just to cover it. I know it's not ideal, but the only other alternative is getting the whole floor redone, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, let's get started. So these ice blocks we took on holiday to keep our picnics cold, they just need to go back in the freezer. We've also got an unfinished Lego set, standard in this house. And before I cleared any more of the table, I just wanted to get some of Velma's bowls and baby spoons out of storage. Top of the fridge is storage in this house, yes. I'm so excited. I'm really going to try and make sure she tries loads of veggies first, because with the boys, I was just so excited for them to like food, I went with apple, and they're such fussy eaters now. Anyway, back to sorting through the school books, and realistically, will I ever look through Rudy's Year 5 maths book ever again? No. But do I want to keep it for sentimental reasons? Absolutely yes. Should I though? Again, no. I'm going to stick to keeping artwork. There are still so many different areas in this house that need sorting through. There'll be so many more piles like this in the big kitchen cupboard, because I just get so stressed about throwing the kids' worksheets and stuff away. I just hide them like a squirrel and make it future me's problem, and it definitely is a problem now. Next part to this video, I'm going to list every single area in the house that needs decluttering, every drawer, every cupboard. I'm going to put them all into a random generator and let it decide which I'm doing first, and just get through it that way. There's going to be way less of me chatting away to the camera, because I genuinely probably could have got double the work done if I wasn't getting distracted. But it's been fun to try something new. I've really enjoyed it, and I definitely will still be having a chat to the camera, just in shorter, less rambly snippets, I think. So one of my goals in this room was to make the kitchen table a livable area again. Not only do we want to eat at the table as a family, obviously. How many times have I said that before, only for it to revert back to the way it was? But yeah, the boys will also be doing their homework and practicing their writing on here too, because the kitchen is the calm space in the house. Anyway, these boxes here are my dad's artwork, and this was the only place in the house I could store it without the risk of it getting damaged. So I've got it here at the minute because he wants me to use my walls. So he's just making an Etsy shop at the minute, but because my walls are a bit more clear, he wants me to do some videos of it for him, so then he can put it on his Etsy shop. But he's got like multiple little, what are these even called? Globs of stuff. Do you remember years ago I told you he scolded himself because he was messing around with wax, making something. So he starts all of them with like a ball of clay, and then like sticks feathers and wires and all sorts into them, and then he messes around on Photoshop and he comes up with these. He's got like a whole collection of all different colours of them. It's going to be for him, and he knows, for a very niche audience. Yeah, he's actually finally got them printed on canvas now, and started to do his Etsy shop. I am just going to move it out of the room for the purposes of what I'm doing here, because I want to mop the floors like thoroughly today, instead of just doing a mop around things job. Gosh, I don't know where to put it. Anyway, let's... Can you tell I've not lifted up the chairs to hoover under this table in a while? And no, that doesn't mean I've not hoovered in here. We hoover in here every day. It just means it's lazy hoovering. Crispy leaves from my buddleia tree keep blowing in all over the house because of the hosepipe ban. I am so upset about that. My poor garden. I worked so hard on it. Just having a little sing-along while I did the hoovering. Can you tell my mood was just lifting as I got through this? I've got Velma's baby monitor in my hand. I'm watching her at all times. There is a sound feature so you can hear them as well, but obviously the hoover drowns that out, and I just want to be extra safe. Anyway, in the short form video I gave this kitchen a good old clean from top to bottom, but I only included the relevant parts here. And like I said, you'll probably be able to see the rest of it on shorts to see everything else I got up to. It really is funny switching back and forth from short to long form content because I feel like you get two different versions of me depending on how fast I'm talking. I turn into a sassier version of me when I'm talking fast and calm, caring me when the pace is slower, and then I guess now you get awkward, fumbly me in real time too. You get 3 pals in one on this channel. Anyway, while the chairs were up, I decided to get this area under the table cleaned thoroughly.
You don't realise how mucky things get or how fast things get mucky. Well, I don't even know if this was fast, to be honest, because I'm just doing daily cleans. I'm doing surface cleans, I'm doing what I can. I'm spending most of my time actually just tidying up and stuff like under the table, especially because there's just been stuff everywhere. It just gets neglected, so let me just show you.
See, from here, you wouldn't think it looks bad, but oh no. Also, how has all this got on the side of the dishwasher? Not dishwasher, tumble dryer. I don't even own a dishwasher. Sometimes I think a huge deep clean where you get to loads of the things you haven't gotten to in ages is the key to a fantastic mood boost. Although, of course, we don't always have the time to get to these things, which is why they get this way in the first place.
I'm hoping everybody's really pleasantly surprised when they get back today. Charlie's at work and Rudy's gone with my mum and stepdad to this aqua park. And when they got here to pick him up, oh God, I'm embarrassed every single time. But yeah, I was really embarrassed and I could tell they were like trying not to say something. But and then Charlie, obviously, coming home and seeing a nice clean room, and for the first time in weeks there's not stuff piled on the table, everything's had like a freshen up. I'm so excited for everyone to get home. And I'm thinking if he sees this nice clean room, he's going to be more inclined to want to straight away put up the shelves above the tumble dryer. He might be knackered because he's had, oh my God, I'm absolutely sweating. I know you see me always going like this. It's like a nervous tick because I'm talking to the camera, but also I'm sweating. Yeah, I'm hoping he actually wants to, panicking, she's still asleep. She's having the longest nap ever. Yeah, hoping he wants to put these shelves up and then, yeah. Then there won't be so much stuff on this tumble dryer area. Move that out of the way. I might put some cosy, like a twinkly lights on there. I'm ready for like cosy light season to be back. We haven't actually had a lamp on in the kitchen for ages because Ike decided to kick over the one we have in the living room. So we moved the one from the kitchen into the living room and then never replaced them. But I want some cosy lighting again. And then obviously I'm hoping to decorate for Halloween like I did a few years ago. So yeah, I'm feeling so much happier today because it's finally like a massive amount of progress. I think doing the kitchen and not carrying on upstairs was the right way to go. Like it's proper uplifted me.
So I had a quick whiz around with the hoover and then I thought I'd try my hand at building the high chair. Now I usually would have just waited for Charlie to come home and do this, but I don't want to wait for any man. As much as I adore Charlie, I want to know that I could function and get stuff done if he wasn't in the picture. And like I said at the start, I like to push myself out of my comfort zone and do hard things, and stuff like this is very hard for my brain. And something that would have taken Charlie about 5 minutes took me about 50, but we got there in the end, after a lot of frustration.
Yes, I will get you a rocket lolly in just 1 second. Just hold on. So I'm just doing something. What help is it? Look, because it says S8 for this, right? And then these are S12, S11, like the bolts and stuff. But it doesn't then translate onto the page that tells you what to actually do. It just says A and B. That makes no sense. It's not helpful. And the best thing about all of this is Charlie's taken the screwdriver that I use, that I keep in the cutlery drawer, and he's put it back in his toolbox. So now I've got to go rooting around that, and Velma is awake.
This was a perfect opportunity to teach my daughter that we can do these things too, and there's no such thing as pink and blue jobs. Not in my world anyway. Lots of people get really annoyed when they see me mowing the lawn, because apparently Charlie should be doing that. But I love mowing the lawn. The garden is my area, and honestly, a lot of the jobs in this house are allocated based on height. And I feel like this is a really silly topic to even be discussing in 2026, but things seem to be heading in a really backwards direction at a really scary pace at the minute. And because my content is watched by a predominantly female audience, I want all of you to know that I don't think cleaning is just my job, nor does Charlie, and that is not and never will be the kind of people we are. It is 50-50 in this house, parenting, housework, everything. Anyway, because we've got the high chair now, the time has come to turn this table around again, and I know so many people were happy when I turned it away from the wall, but times have changed again and needs must. Now I've just got to find a good place for the high chair, and if you're wondering why there's a full doctor's office grade height measurer in the corner, it's because I am obsessed with tracking my children's height and making sure they've grown. I decided at this point I really didn't like the table facing this way. We are well and truly ready for a new house now. I did have a little cry at the thought of leaving the other day though, because this was mine and Rudy's first house. It was just the two of us, we grew up together in this house, and it will make me so sad to leave. And I've had my other two babies here. It's my baby's house. But we'll always have the memories, and I'm sure we're going to make some great new memories in our bigger space that we really do deserve. My kids deserve their own rooms, and I'm so excited to take you along for our new journey when the time comes. Anyway, last thing I needed to do in this room was put the lovely new mat over the horrible ripped up floor, and I absolutely love it. And now the visible parts of the kitchen are ready for back to school. It's no longer a stressful space to be in. And here are all the bags of stuff that I managed to get from the first phase of the declutter. We are nowhere near finished, but I'd say that's pretty good going for the first bit. Now I'm just going to take some of the bags into the kids' room because they're going into the attic, and then the rest are either going to the tip or to be donated. And that is the big back to school declutter part 1 finished, and I will be back very soon to get into all of the big messy cupboards, reorganise and just get back on top of everything. And yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you've made it this far into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.